This morning we're going to be looking at your liver, and your liver is the organ that is orchestrating the detox. The liver is often called the project manager because everything that goes into the body goes first to the liver, and everything that comes out of the body comes out under the jurisdiction of the liver. So what we're going to first of all do, have a look at what goes into the body and what the liver does with it.
Hello, I'm Barbara O'Neill. Are you over 50 and feeling drained, dealing with stubborn weight gain, or finding your digestion has slowed down? These could be signs that your liver needs some care. The liver is a powerful organ that filters toxins and keeps your body balanced, but when it's overworked, it affects everything from your energy to your waistline. The good news? With just a few simple, natural remedies, you can start turning things around in as little as 2 weeks. Today, we'll dive into practical steps to support and revive your liver's health, including a surprising remedy at the end that can make a world of difference. Let's get started on giving your liver the boost it deserves.
So we're going to have a look at foods. And never in the history of mankind have human beings eaten so many carbohydrates. I think you'll agree with me. We've become high carbohydrates consumers. You just go into any supermarket and there's usually a whole aisle devoted to bread, a whole aisle devoted to cereal, and almost a whole aisle devoted to pasta. There's certainly a large section devoted to cakes. Now I'm just going to say cakes, etc., because this takes into consideration croissants, muffins, cookies, biscuits. We call what you call cookies, we call those biscuits. Also another high carbohydrate is pizza, rice. Rice is another carbohydrate, potatoes, and products made with potatoes abound. There's your French fries, your chips, you call them potato crisps or chips. And then last and certainly least in nutritive value is the pure crystallized acid extracted from the sugarcane plant. Would you agree with me? But if you live on the farm, this is not fast food. All this has to be made. What's the fast food down on the farm? Fruits and vegetables. That's your best fast food shop, is your fruit and vegetable shop. All of these in the gastrointestinal tract break down to a singular structure called glucose. And glucose gets absorbed out of the gut, determines what happens to that glucose. And the first place it goes is to the cell. So the glucose goes into the cell under the action of insulin. It goes through a 20-step pathway. And that 20-step pathway gives us 2 units of energy. The end result of the 20-step pathway is a chemical form of glucose called pyruvate. And pyruvate is the chemical form of glucose that gets fed into what's often called the powerhouse of the cell, because this 8-step pathway delivers to us 36 units of energy.
Our liver, the body's primary detox commander, faces a serious challenge in our modern world. With so many carbohydrate-heavy foods, breads, pastas, and sugar-laden snacks, supermarket shelves are lined with items that overwhelm the liver with glucose. When there's too much glucose, the liver converts the excess into fat, which eventually leads to the silent epidemic of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. People often don't realize that everyday foods like pizza, chips, and even rice are flooding the liver with more than it can handle. Over time, the liver, which should be focused on detoxification, becomes burdened with fat.
You see, on this high carbohydrate diet, the poor old pancreas is getting screamed at all day. More insulin, more insulin, more insulin. But on this diet, the pancreas is getting a break and it starts to revive. People with high cholesterol levels came back to normal. And what are we told we've got to do if we want to get cholesterol levels down? Stop the meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs. Am I right? Yeah, and the drug, that's true. The cholesterol levels were coming down. Atkins scratched his head. His cancer patients were going into remission. Do you remember yesterday? And I do admit I am guilty of information overload. But cancer cells consume 15 times the glucose of any other cell. So when you drastically stop these glucose foods, the cancer cells can actually self-destruct when they're not getting the glucose they need. What Atkins discovered is that these 3 food groups are the essential food groups. What does essential mean? Body doesn't make, you got to put it in. Fibre is essential because our gut needs to be swept every day. That's what fibre does. Essential because it's in the fibre part of the food that you'll often get a concentration of your nutrients. Did you know that the highest concentration of nutrients in the potato is just under the skin? And when you peel your potatoes, you lose that. We're very thankful to Jamie Oliver, who got people to leave the skins on their potatoes.
Now let's talk about a different approach. While high-carb foods strain the liver, natural foods like fruits and vegetables work in its favor, encouraging detox rather than fat buildup. Transitioning away from these glucose-heavy foods not only benefits the liver, but also gives the pancreas a much-needed break, allowing insulin production to stabilize. Even people with high cholesterol levels found improvements not by avoiding butter or eggs, but by cutting down on carbs, the real culprits behind cholesterol spikes. As for cancer cells, they thrive on glucose, reduce it, and you weaken their growth.
Whereas dandelion, lion is the king of the jungle, and I think dandelion is the king of the herbs in the garden, because dandelion is a bitter herb. If you were to bite it and eat it, it's very, very bitter. And you've heard the old saying, sweet to the mouth, bitter to the stomach. Sweet to the mouth, bitter to the stomach. Think of that with sugar. Sugar is sweet to the mouth but very bitter to the stomach. Whereas your bitter herbs like dandelion, they're bitter to the mouth but very sweet to the stomach, because it's the bitter herbs that stimulate the liver to release its digestive enzymes, and also the bitterness causes the stomach to release its digestive enzymes too. Dandelion is the liver herb. Your liver is a recoverable organ. It's the only organ in the body that has the ability to regrow or recover. That's why they can do a liver transplant on just a little bit of liver, and the liver will regrow. And I'm so glad that God made the liver a recoverable organ, because some of the things that people are doing to their body, in ignorance, mostly granted, if we didn't have a recoverable organ, some of us wouldn't even live past our 20s. But God, in His great wisdom and mercy, made the liver to be a recoverable organ. And these herbs help stimulate the liver to regrow and to recover. Cancer cannot get a hold on the body if the liver's working in optimum performance. Now, how can we eat this? How can we eat the dandelion? Well, there's a recipe in Europe. A friend of mine went through Europe traveling for a while, and she stayed at some of her relatives because she is German descent. And she said that they make this wonderful hot potato salad. They cook the potatoes, and then they chop them up hot into hunks, and then they chop up heaps of dandelion, and then they put lots of olive oil, crushed garlic and salt. Just imagine that. Doesn't that sound yum? Now those smooth, blandish potatoes covered with the delicious olive oil that makes anything taste nice, and that also calms down the garlic, and it also calms down the bitterness of the dandelion. So every mouthful you eat is mostly potato with that lovely oil on it, and salt, and a little garlic, and a little bit of dandelion. It's actually delicious. It sort of balances out to a delicious hot potato salad. Now this lady suffered from iron problems. She said, I had no iron challenges when I was in Europe. She said, I think it's because I was eating the hot potato dandelion salad every day. Now what you can also do, you can buy the dandelion root that's been roasted. So that's like a dandelion coffee. And you can buy a delicious drink in the health food shop, and we sell it at Misty, called chai dandelion. A lot of people will drink chai tea, But the tea, of course, has the tannin and the caffeines in it. But chai dandelion is a delicious drink. A lot of people don't like herb teas because they say they're tasteless and bland. Not chai dandelion. Chai dandelion is a delicious drink, and it has a whole lot of herbs and spices with it to give it that beautiful flavour. So you can have the fresh dandelion scattered through your salads, or you can make your hot potato salad with lots of dandelion in it, the leaves, or you can buy the dandelion root roasted and have that as a hot drink.
When it comes to restoring the liver, one of the most powerful plants is dandelion. This humble herb, though bitter to the taste, is incredibly nourishing. Dandelion stimulates the liver to release essential digestive enzymes, promoting detox and regeneration. You can add fresh dandelion leaves to your salads or drink a tonic of roasted dandelion root tea, which is one of the best natural liver cleansers. It boosts bile production, helping the liver break down fats and flush out toxins.
And you might be surprised to see that the first alkaline food I'm putting up here is the humble lemon. And you might say, no, the lemon's acid. It is. And it's acid where it should be. There's only one part in the body that should be acid. You know where that is? Stomach. It must be acid. If someone says, I've got a very acid stomach, I say, praise God. Because if you don't have an acid stomach, you can't break your proteins down. How do you know it's acid? Well, it's sore. Well, you shouldn't feel it. I can't feel it. It means you haven't got a thick mucosa lining on the stomach. We're going to look at water tomorrow, and that's made up of water. Maybe it's because you're dehydrated. Remember, you've got to investigate. No, the lemon is acid where it should be. That's why you'll find that most of our salad dressings have lemon in them. But when it is broken down in the gut and the minerals are dispersed and absorbed into the blood and thus to the tissues, it has an alkaline effect because the lemon is high in the alkaline minerals, which is sodium and potassium, calcium, magnesium and iron. These are the alkaline minerals, and the lemon is high in the alkaline minerals. Don't you love the lemon? Every home should have a lemon tree. And if you're in a unit, you can have a lemon tree in a pot on your veranda. And one liver herb that many people don't realise it is the lemon. So a great drink in the morning. Remember, you wake up, have your water, have another bit of water, and then when you come near the kitchen, have the kettle boiled and put juice of a lemon in some water with a little bit of boiling water on top and have a warm lemon drink. Fantastic liver tonic early in the morning. Also, the lemon is an internal alkalizer, so that will do a few things too.
Another great liver support is lemon. Start your morning with a simple lemon drink. After waking up, boil some water, squeeze half a lemon into a cup, and top it with warm, not boiling water. This lemon drink acts as an excellent liver tonic, helping to balance the body's pH and supporting bile production for efficient fat breakdown. Lemon is not only refreshing, but also a powerful internal alkalizer, giving your liver the support it needs to stay healthy.
Have a look at ginger. Ginger can be used internally and ginger can be used externally. Internally, it's an anti-inflammatory, but it's probably mostly known for its anti-nausea effect. If you buy car sickness or seasickness tablets, it's compressed ginger. Now, the easiest way, I think, to have this is to grate it. So you grate it on that little grater, and you'll grate about a teaspoon, and you put it in a little teapot and pour boiling water on it, and let it sit probably 10 minutes. Now, that might be too strong for you, but I love it. I love it like that. If it's too strong, you just water it down a little bit. If someone's very cold, maybe they've been caught out in the cold or something, and it's very hard to warm them up, give them a cup of hot ginger tea and it will warm them up very nicely. So it can be used for nausea, it can be used to warm a person if they're chilled or cold. And you saw too, it is one of the recipes in the flu bomb. I was at a function, it was a health seminar, and in the break, everyone went and had their herb teas, and there was a girl with a tiny little grater grating ginger. And I said, "Ah, ginger." She said, "I'm an entertainer, I'm a singer." She said, "I was in Greece last year and I lost my voice, and a little Greek lady made me a hot ginger tea." She said, "I sang that night." So she said, "I travel with my little grater everywhere I go." So very nice on a sore throat or hoarse throat.
And let's not forget ginger. Known for its anti-inflammatory and anti-nausea properties, ginger tea is a potent addition to any liver health regimen. Grate about a teaspoon of fresh ginger into hot water, let it steep for 10 minutes, and enjoy. Regular consumption of ginger tea stimulates bile flow, helping the liver manage fats better and reducing inflammation. Ginger's anti-inflammatory effects can significantly aid liver health and improve overall detoxification.
We are all so different. We're all a combination of birth, genetics, experiences, and that's why I believe everyone should be their own doctor. There is another herb that you can take on the inside to get inflammation down, and that's turmeric. Turmeric's a very powerful herb internally to get the inflammation down.
How often or how much?
So a teaspoon 3 times a day.
Sure.
If it's the fresh turmeric, you would triple that dose. If it's dried, then you bring it back.
This golden spice is renowned for its ability to reduce inflammation and support overall wellness. For liver health, turmeric is a must-have, especially because it contains curcumin, an active ingredient that fights inflammation at the cellular level. Chronic inflammation can accelerate liver damage, but turmeric helps counteract that. For a turmeric tea, just add a teaspoon of turmeric to hot water, a pinch of black pepper for better absorption, and steep. This tea can help detoxify and protect the liver while promoting overall wellness. Incorporate these natural, powerful foods and herbs, and within just a couple of weeks, you may start seeing a change in your liver health. Remember, your liver has a remarkable ability to heal itself when given the right support. If you found this helpful, please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more insights. See you next time.